hope you're all doing well. This is the general collective reading for Cancer signs on May the 20th. Whenever you come across this video, that's when it was meant for you. Take what's yours, leave the rest behind, and let's get to it. All right. I'm just gonna have you take a deep breath with me. Here we go. We're going to use the Faceted Garden Oracle for your first at least 1 to 2 cards. Let's see what Spirit has to say with this Oracle deck. I love this deck. It was a gift from my bestie, and she is a Cancer, so part of me wonders if it's energies. Take these. Take one. Use this one. Okay. Your first card is Birth. So I wonder if because she's a Cancer, if there's any water energy just kind of like naturally lingering in these cards. And they said no more. Okay. Birth. Cultivation. Ah, look at this cultivation card. That is so nice. I need to get a little bit better for camera. It's really vibrant in person. This is really, really beautiful. All right. Birth. Being called forth into the physical realm, preparation for a journey, emergent, robust, and ready to fulfill an important role or obligation. Cultivation. Organization and refinement, tending the details of your design, putting important components in the right order to ensure a prosperous outcome. I think this one's pretty. You're being called into a new beginning where you have to have things in order, refine things, tend to the details. It's the finishing touches almost. So you just have to make sure that this thing that you have been cultivating does emerge, does prosper in the way that it best can, because although it will prosper no matter what effort, like so long as you do put effort in, it will prosper. But if you pay attention to the fine details, you're just gonna benefit that much more from it. Yeah, something new coming through. Nice. That's awesome. Ooh, there's a diamond. You may have been under an amount of pressure in order to even, for a good amount of time, in order to even get to this point where, and that's why it's so important for the details to be so finessed, so specific, so it's important because it's something that should be valued, the amount of effort that has gone into this. That's cool. Ooh, You should be proud of yourself. Look at you. You put all that work in. That's always the thing of like, if you put the work in, whatever the work doesn't always have to be like heavy labor kind of thing. You know, it's work is different. Work is different for everyone. It's yeah. All right. Next deck. All right. Come on. Classic deck. Pull my short stand. Ooh. Classic little deck. I'm gonna just pull a couple, probably like 3 cards. See what's up. What does Cancer need to know, Spirit? There needs to be order, or order needs to be set. Yeah, that like the finishing, not just order. Yeah. Okay. Let me get into the book. So we got the first card is Judgment in the reverse position. So it may be a really difficult time of take this as past, present, future, or fumbling over my words. Take this as it resonates with you. But it feels like, we have the Judgment in the reverse, we have 10 of Cups in the reverse, and then we have the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. And so it feels like if you are in a situation where you are unhappy and you may be holding on to, or you may be holding on to things that you shouldn't be holding on to, that things that maybe you need to heal from a little bit more. And it's hard because change is really, really difficult. And sometimes you don't get to choose when things change. Sometimes change just happens at you and you just have to deal with it. And that's really hard. If you had it your way, everything would stay the same forever, but the universe doesn't see it that way. Growth can seem really difficult at this time, as can accepting the truth of your reality, but it needs to be done. And the 10 of Pentacles, or 10 of Cups in the reverse, it's like you have everything, but something feels missing. So it may be connected to whatever is the piece of, the acceptance of change, whatever the change that maybe you didn't want to happen, accepting that, and healing through that. I believe that might be able to help make that peace, that feels missing feel less missing, feel less like the void. And it's, I mean, it's sad because it's like the Eight of Pentacles. It's sad because you just feel like, or like you've worked really, really hard, but in reality, maybe there was a different way that you needed to, or somebody in your energy needed to go about doing things. Maybe there was some, it's like you really want the 10 of Cups in the upright position, the fully satisfied, happy, fully, like, Cups is emotion, and so it's like you're fully emotionally satisfied. And so I think it's like you may have wanted that, and you almost like Hallmark movied it, where it's, how do I get these pieces? But then once you get there, it's like, well, this isn't as satisfying as the Hallmark movie said it would be. Like, and it's like, well, because the Hallmark movie doesn't show the conversations about boundaries, or doesn't show more than like one or two fights kind of thing. It doesn't show the solutions that people come up with and the difficult conversations. And so it's like, maybe you need to rethink, reorganize how you're going about seeking out the full fulfillment of the full emotional fulfillment, because it's like, it feels like the intent is there. It's just, there's not the tool, your toolbox may not have the tools it needs just yet in order to fulfill the intent in the best way possible. And so it's like, maybe even if you're just having issues with continuing to be passionate for elongated periods of time, either about a project or a person or a relationship, or working through a relationship, or maybe the whole thing is that you have been putting your 110% in and you don't feel appreciated for it. It's like you have been putting everything you possibly can put in, doing your best, but there is just no appreciation for how much you've been doing. Maybe somebody's just like picking apart what you've been doing, instead of saying, thank you so much for doing all of this for me, like, I see how much work you've put into this. And so there's just still that feeling of emotional dissatisfaction, of something's missing. And so if we go back to the beginning card, taking a look at the reality of life, I guess, and then healing through whatever needs to be healed through in that, as we, healing is a slow, forever process, but that's okay. That's like I mean, the same thing for if we like cut ourselves by it, like it heals. It slowly. It happens over time. It does, but and sometimes it leaves a scar, but it still does. It does heal. But you have to be willing to see it. Like my grandfather had a fall at one time, and he like busted his like full forearm, and like really bad, but he sometimes doesn't like to see it, and so he sometimes denies that he has a busted and it's like it needs medical treatment kind of bad, and so he refuses to see it as a thing that needs attention, and somebody else has to step in and be like, hey, this is something that's like needs some attention, and something that with a little bit of help, like it'll heal up real nice and clean and good to go. It's just sometimes we need a little bit of help, and we can't just let it be there, because maybe it'll get infected, maybe it won't heal because it needs some sort of special treatment kind of thing. Maybe it's what identifying, like looking at yourself and identifying what you need in order to heal yourself in the best way possible, so that you can get this happily ever after kind of whatever that looks like to you, so that your work isn't taken for granted, and that all your cups are filled to the fullest satisfaction. It takes work to get there, but that's why it's worth it. Yeah. I believe in you. Thank you so much for being here. Take what's yours, leave the rest behind. And I'll see you next time.